Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, world, and welcome to episode. What is it, Sarky? 63? What is it?
63, I believe, yes.
63 of Ball Don't
We'll
Lie, the
go with
Jeff
that.
Saturday of the Ball Don't Lie episodes for our Colts fans on the show today. Folks, we have a great episode today. We got Erik from the B Team podcast, and we got Matt Dickey, NFL insider, on the show today. We're not talking about playoffs. We are all terribly upset, sad, depressed, sleep deprived over last night's game.
Yep.
I think we all hate LeBron at the end of this, as of right now, and we hate Goblin as well. But I mean, that's another day's topic there. But folks, we have a great show for you. So today we're doing NFL mock draft, and how this is going to work. We did a random number generator in the picks order selection. Each person gets every 4 picks, except there were stipulations to the draft. I was told by Erik, either him or Matt had to get the 4th overall pick because he said he would not have been on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is your show, guys. You can just tell me no.
Well, we want to keep you in a good mood.
We
no, because you would have got pissed if I would have taken
here.
Will Levis at 4.
We love
deny.
Erik. We don't want to see him commit suicide, so we gave it to who does have 4? You or Dickey?
Erik.
Okay.
If I had gotten Erik, or if I had gotten 4, I would have picked Will Levis just to take Erik off.
I think we all would have just taken Will Levis. Just but folks, we're drafting off who we like in the spot, who we think is gonna be a good fit for the team, etc. If we own the spot, so starting it off in the 2023 NFL mock draft, Ball Don't Lie. Starkey is leading us off with the Carolina Panthers.
And with the first pick in the 2023 Ball Don't Lie draft, the Carolina Panthers select Mr. Bryce Young, quarterback, Alabama.
Solid pick.
Never.
Yeah,
He's the best. In my opinion, he's the best quarterback in the draft. He's a generational guy. I don't think. I think him and Stroud will end up being either 1 or 2, 1A or 1B will be the best quarterbacks coming out of this year. So if I'm Carolina, I'm running to the podium.
Well, the issue with Bryce Young is the fact he's 5'10", 190 pounds. I mean, the last Alabama quarterback drafted is not looking too, or one of the last 2 drafted has had an injury-riddled career.
Yep.
I did see today, though, compared to with his size, somebody compared him to Drew Brees.
Yeah, Drew Brees is a little bit stockier, but
so I'm going to go ahead with the 2 pick.
Are we done on?
I mean, I don't know. Y'all want to dissect it more? I mean, it's up to y'all.
Yeah, Bryce Young is awesome. I don't think there's much to dissect there.
So with the 2 pick, kind of going off what I guess they're doing now, the Houston Texans were taking Will Anderson.
Whoa.
Interesting.
Will Anderson.
Just because right now it's either the greatest smoke ball in the world, but the Texans have said we're not taking a quarterback at 2. So I'm kind of basing it off that. And we are going Mr. Will Anderson, the guy that most people thought was going to win the Heisman Trophy this year as a defensive player. Lock as number 1 for a good portion of the college season. He's 6'4", 253. This season alone, or his college career, he has 34.5 sacks, 58.5 tackles for a loss, and 71 quarterback hits. He's going to be a menace for a long time in the NFL. Solid pick. Helps a rebuilding Houston Texans team, and it's going to give lots of teams nightmares down the road.
Yep. You're a Will Anderson over Tyree Wilson guy then?
Yes, just based on what I've seen in production wise, yes. Tyree Wilson I haven't seen much out of him, but
yeah, it's sort of the Trayvon Walker, Aiden Hutchinson debate from last year.
Say that again, Erik.
Where I said it's kind of like the Trayvon Walker, Aiden Hutchinson debate last year, where Walker was so much more of an athletic freak.
Yeah.
But Aiden Hutchinson had all the production. It's like, which one do you want? And it's not like Will Anderson isn't also an athletic freak. So
Yeah.
They're both freaks.
I mean, they should go quarterback. I don't know why they're not. I guess they're trying to suck for Caleb Williams next year.
Yeah, that's the only, unless they got a later pick, so they must. They're either gonna say we're gonna stink for another year and get Caleb Williams next year, or they're gonna get best player available on their board and they have a later first round pick and go like Anthony Richardson or Will Levis or Hendon Hooker or whoever, and with their next pick.
I think this is the point in the draft. Nobody knows what's going to happen. It's going to literally
That's
Three-
going to make or break the draft. What Houston
it's going to
does.
literally make and break the third and the fourth overall pick, depending on what happens here.
Yep.
So that leads us into the third pick. Matthew, you
All
have the
right.
third pick. Who
With
are the
the-
Cardinals taking?
With the third pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals are taking Tari Wilson, edge, Texas Tech. They could definitely trade here, obviously. Their team is just not good right now. But if they don't trade out, I think they take best player available. They need edge. I like Tari Wilson, especially with Will Anderson off the board. I think Tyree Wilson's the pick.
So we got Mr. Jalen Carter falling out of the top 3. Okay.
Yep.
Does that surprise you?
Yeah, I don't know if it's because of his off the field issues that really surprises me, but I think he's going to be the biggest faller of the draft night.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a guy that was a lock from January to literally, I think, middle of February. For 2 months, he was the lock at number 1, and now no one knows where he's going, anywhere from 2 to 16 of what I've seen in mock drafts.
Last year, he might have been the number 1 overall pick. It's just
Yeah.
if he didn't have the off the field issues.
Okay, Eric, take us home. Who are we taking with the Colts?
Yeah, Starkey talked earlier about running to the podium, and that's exactly what we're doing here. You've heard a lot of people talk about, a lot of people around the league believe that the Colts really like Will Levis. You know who's not saying anything? Chris Ballard's not saying anything because it's his all crazy, awesome smoke screen. He's running to the podium with the name CJ Stroud, turning it in. I don't care if he has to wear a helmet if he walks to the practice facility. I don't know what his S2 score is. The dude can throw a football, and that's all I care about.
I mean, he was the lock for what most people had is going number 1 overall.
Just watch the game against Georgia, dude. It's not that hard.
Exactly.
85 touchdowns,
agree more.
12 interceptions at college. In 2 years as a starting quarterback.
Look,
The numbers are there, but many people are
I was going to say,
saying that he's going to be a massive bust.
if CJ Stroud and Will Levis are both there and we take Will Levis, it's going to be tough.
So would y'all be mad as Colts fans if y'all take Anthony Richardson over Stroud?
Matt, I'll let you go first.
I wouldn't be mad because he wouldn't be starting next year's thing. He might be, but he's definitely of the big name quarterbacks in this draft. He's the least ready to go right now. I think Richardson has the highest ceiling, but he also still very raw. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about that.
I would be surprised, maybe a little upset, but I would not be mad. Because as Matt said, like Anthony Richardson is an unreal athletic specimen, and he's only 21 years old. I know he only started those 13 games in college or whatever, but I'm willing to bet on a 21-year-old that apparently works really hard and is that athletically gifted on hitting his potential rather than not. So
I didn't know this. I was doing some research on it, on prospects. Did you know Anthony Richardson has a career completion percentage of 55% in college?
It's like Josh Allen, right?
Did you know that would be the fourth lowest collegiate passing percentage by a quarterback drafted in NFL history in the first round?
There were also a couple. I know that like it's just a highlight tape, so it's only going to be the good throws because you can look up his bad throws and buddy, they're
He
bad.
misses bad.
He misses bad. There are a couple that hits. It's like he's throwing to a janitor walking down the like Rhodes College hallway or something.
So, if we take Will Levis, boys, what is the mindset here on Thursday night?
He's our quarterback. I mean, that's what it has to be. May not be happy about it, but it's like when Giants fans drafted Daniel Jones, like, were they mad about it? Yeah. Get over it. He's your quarterback. If you're a fan.
Yeah,
Well,
if you're a real fan.
I'm so stupid that I'll tell myself that it'll work out.
Yeah,
in reality, it's probably going to be. Yeah, in reality, it's probably going to be Ballard, have fun looking for your next apartment in Piscataway, New Jersey, or wherever you're going to live at. But yeah, like, I mean, I would accept it. I wouldn't be happy about it by any means.
So will y'all be depressed is what I'm asking.
For like all of 10 minutes, and then I would do what I did whenever we drafted Philip Dorsett, and I would read about how awesome he is and be like, you know what? This is a great pick.
Super Bowl champion, Philip Dorsett. Well, if y'all, I know y'all will be depressed if you draft Will Levis. So use our unique URL code, Baldo Live at BetterHelp for 10% off your first licensed therapist session to help talk you off the ledge.
You're trying to get us to say yes on that, so
I was, and y'all didn't. You dirty dogs.
Sorry.
Okay, let's get off this pity party. Starkey, who are we taking at 5?
All right, so at 5, I've got the Seattle Seahawks taking Jalen Carter.
That's actually a scary plot. That's a scary spot for him to end up.
I think we talked about him potentially falling with some off-the-field issues, but if they are going to try to get back to that Legion of Boom defense, I know it wasn't the whole defense, obviously, but that defensive identity Seattle was used to having, I think it could very easily start with Carter.
I mean, you draft him, you help stop the Christian McCaffrey in San Francisco. You got to draft up to go against that offensive line in San Francisco.
Yep, 100%.
So the Lions have the 6th pick. This one I didn't know what to do. I'm going with a little reach here. Devin Witherspoon. Don't know. What I've read and seen, he's only got 5 career interceptions. That kind of seems a little crazy for a guy going 5th overall. Or 6th overall, I'm sorry. But from what I read, he's tall, he's lanky, he anticipates throws, and he plays in the Big Ten where they don't ever throw the ball, they run it.
Yeah.
So apparently he fits Dan Campbell's type of players. He's a dog. He's got a bulldog in him. He's crazy. He's chaotic. And they need all the help they can because half their team just got suspended last week for gambling on team facilities. Or at the team facility. So that's who I have the Lions taking.
Is he the consensus top corner across the board at this point?
I've seen him and Christian Gonzalez going 1 or 2. So I think it just kind of depends on who you ask. I keep seeing back and forth. They said apparently from what I've read, Devin Witherspoon, they love him in Detroit. And apparently if he's there, they're taking him.
I was on mute. That's my bad.
That's okay. Well, you're up anyway, buddy.
All right. So we have the Las Vegas Raiders. I could see the Raiders are crazy. I could see them if Anthony Richardson's there. I could see this pick being Anthony Richardson, but we're just gonna go ahead and say that they got Jimmy G. Let's get a defense for Jimmy G. I'm gonna take Christian Gonzalez, Oregon corner, tall, lengthy guy, pretty good in coverage. They need corner, So I think that's if they don't go quarterback or O-line, I think that's the pick.
My thing is, do you go wide receiver and try to get him some more weapons, or go? Or is this
You
too
definitely
early?
could.
Or is 7 too early for a wide receiver this year?
That's the thing is, I think 7 might be a little too early. If you're going to get a wide receiver, you trade back. In this draft, I think 7's too early to get a wide receiver.
Yeah, there's not someone like a Jamar Chase that's just out there that is
Yeah.
the clear top guy. I mean, there is a clear top, I think we would all say, but it's no one that is worth selling the farm for.
Yeah.
Mr. Eric, you are up.
All right, with the Falcons, they have a couple of different directions they can go. I consulted with my my draft room earlier about the Falcons, and they think that they might go running back here. There is a clear top running back. I am choosing to go the defensive route here. Maybe take the first reach off the board. I will take Lucas Van Ness, the edge rusher from Iowa.
So I didn't know much about him until like last week when I started like doing my research on this.
Yeah, 6'5", 272. Just a sophomore, still pretty raw, but all the tools are there.
I mean, Matt, you're the Big Ten expert. Was he a dominant force in the Big Ten?
Yeah, I mean he was all right. I think like Eric said, I don't think he had as much production as some other guys, but he's got all the attributes, and that's why he's really highly graded in this class. I think he's considered the third or fourth top edge in this class, so that's about where he'll probably be come draft time.
Yeah, after you get past Wilson and Anderson, he's probably the next tier, probably the top pick of the next tier.
Yeah,
you can never use enough edge rushers. So
yeah, I mean he's one of Kirk's dogs, you know.
Okay, Starkey, let's go.
All right, so this one may be the first pick that could be up for debate a little bit, more so than the rest of them for sure. But at 9, I'm going to have the Bears taking Peter Skoronski, tackle out of Northwestern.
That's a good pick. Build up the O-line.
See, I don't know what the Bears do because they really don't have any weapons still for Justin Fields.
I mean, you have. We can talk enough noise about Chase Claypool, but that's a wide receiver 3. That's a good wide receiver 3. They still have Darnell Mooney as a wide receiver 2, and then they made the big trade this offseason, obviously, for DJ Moore. So I don't think that they have to go Smith.
I'm not a big DJ Moore fan, though.
Yeah, but like DJ Moore's your wide receiver 1 is
he's a 1,000-yard receiver for like the past 3 or 4 years. You know.
Yeah,
he's a consistent 1,000-yard receiver.
With like Sam Darnold and PJ. PJ Washington Tucker. What's his name, Matt?
PJ Moore.
Yeah, that's not it either.
Colts, great.
That's not it either. It's not PJ Moore.
Yeah, it is. PJ Walker.
Yeah, former Temple Owl product.
Yeah.
God, he killed Memphis all those years.
He did. He had the revolver. He was the Simpsons meme, grandpa meme of just coming in the door, taking the hat off, putting the hat back on, and leaving. He would get sent down the Colts practice squad and activated from the practice squad every week.
So yeah, I like that pick for Chicago. Protect your fields.
Or should I call you Howie? Howie Roseman. I know what your draft board looks like. You need a running back. You need a safety. You're not going to reach for a safety. You can get your running back later. Bring. I'm Nick Caserio. I'm the Texans. I want the 10th pick.
What are you willing to offer me?
We'll swap 10 and 12, and then you get my second round pick next year.
Throw in a conditional 5th and it's a deal.
Yeah, that works.
Okay.
And with that, This
Is
is the
this the
Texans.
Giants? Oh, the Texans.
Texans.
Okay.
I know what you're thinking. Hey, Nick, you just had the second pick. You could have taken the quarterback that you wanted there and not have to give up more assets. But I'm smart Nick Caserio, and the Texans are always smart. So I would rather give away all my assets to make this pick. And I will take Will Levis at number 10.
Whoa!
Nice.
Did that
Did
hurt you
I
to say
just
his name?
finagle away that the Texans end up with the worst quarterback? Yes, I did.
Did that hurt you saying that out of your mouth, saying I choose Will Levis?
I'm Nick Caserio, dude. I say whatever I want to.
I mean, he's not coming to a bad situation. He got Laramie Tunsil still.
Will Levis?
Yeah, I mean, he's got a
Bad
decent.
situation.
Who's the running back they got?
Name 3 players on their
That team
team.
stinks, dude.
And I'll give you that one. Damian Pierce. Name 3 other players on their team.
Yeah, they got Damian Pierce and Laramie Tunsil. He's good for now.
Can you name anybody?
Name
else?
me one guy that he's throwing the ball to.
Ooh, OJ Howard.
Sure. That's they're in our division, and I don't know if that's right.
I don't know that either.
It is because he snapped off on like week 1 for like 30 fantasy points in the first game. of the
OJ
year.
Howard's one of the greatest tight end busts ever.
The worst thing they ever did was lose to us in week 18. Or beat us in week 18.
He does, yeah.
Pleasure
Okay,
doing business
so-
with you, Howie.
I mean, that's actually a pretty great trade. And that still leaves Anthony Richardson on the table.
Yeah, Anthony
For
Richardson.
number
Still
11.
up there.
Matthew.
Oh, was that meme? Yep.
Who's got the
You said
11th
it.
pick?
Anthony Richardson is still on the board. And that's
Oh, the
exactly
Titans.
who the Tennessee Titans will be taking their pick. So that is not 1, not 2, not 3, or not 1, not 2. That is 3 new quarterbacks in the AFC South.
I mean, the Titans that just drafted Malik Willis last year.
Dude,
Exactly.
buzzed. Have you
And
seen
he's-
Malik Willis?
And I think they've already given up on him. You know, I remember in 2018, a certain Arizona Cardinals picked in the first round with the 8th or 9th overall pick, drafted maybe the best quarterback at the time in Josh Rosen. He was 10th overall.
Hot tub Josh,
I
baby.
think it
And
was
then-
Chosen Rosen.
Next year, they were like, "This ain't the guy. Let's get Kyler." Has that really worked out for
I'm still
him?
with Josh Rosen, truth.
But I can definitely see Tennessee getting a quarterback with their first pick. Definitely.
Matt, if I hadn't traded up, do you think Tennessee would have taken Will Levis there? We were getting intel that they were interested in Will, so we had to move up.
Yeah. Yeah. Now,
Well,
all right.
I don't
Who's
know.
next
I
up?
just think Tennessee, they
All
got a crap ton of rebuilding to do. Their team is a dumpster fire, and they still got to trade Derrick Henry at some point. So,
Which can we talk about that for a second?
Yep.
I mean, we
There
can
was
do
a
it.
show. We can talk about whatever you want.
There was a rumor over the weekend that King Henry was going to Philadelphia, and then everyone just quit talking about it.
Yeah,
I think it was
that's
just
true.
Akbar Bobby and Mila, right?
Did you see it on Reddit?
No, it was on Twitter.
It was like a real.
It was
like,
the
I got an
American
ESPN
Ninja Warrior
notification
host that
for it.
tweeted it out.
Like it was a real thing.
The worst
And
thing the
nobody's
Titans ever
said
did was get
anything
rid
about
of A.J. Brown.
No,
They
they
said-
drafted your DNP fat wide receiver from Arkansas
Why do you hate him
Dang.
so much?
because he
Because
cost us a
he-
victory.
Because he went to Arkansas.
Y'all are going to lose either way.
That's not true. It was 4th down, Jared. It's 4th
Make
down.
a field goal. How many
Fourth
field goals
down.
did you miss?
Yeah, we missed 3, and we still should have won. Your wide receiver's fat, didn't try to catch the ball.
Traylon Burks is our wide receiver 1. I can get my signed jersey out behind me if you want me to.
You just wasted ink from a Sharpie.
No, it's a wise long-term investment.
Yeah.
Well, back to it before we get off back down the rabbit hole. With the 12th pick, the Eagles, we got who we wanted. Y'all don't know who we're taking. We're taking Bijan Robinson.
That's a good pick.
We're getting the best running back in the draft at a cheaper deal. We're in win now mode. Guy led the NCAA with 113 missed tackles last year. He's a do-it-all. He can run up the gut, and he can catch. He's a great in the RPO, and he's great out of the backfield catching the ball. Adding more weapons for Mr. Hurts to take the Eagles back to the Super Bowl. It kills me to freaking see him.
I think that's definitely a high probability of that pick if they do not trade for him.
I also think that what me and you did, Jared, is like very realistic Thursday night.
Oh my gosh, if that happens.
If one of those quarterbacks is there at 10, I would venture to say one of the Titans or Texans are moving up. If the Texans didn't take one at 2, let me rephrase and say that.
I still don't know if that's like a smoke shell or smoke screen or what, but we're going to save that for another topic. But here's the thing. The Eagles, you get the best running back. You just lost Miles Sanders, who was an okay RB1. Wasn't the best, but he was top 15. But you get Bijan Robinson in that offense. Holy crap. You could have gone different D-line there because their whole entire D-line is 30, 40 years old. So with Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham. So love cousin Fletcher, by the way.
Ditto.
So who has the next pick now? I'm out of loop.
It's Starkey again. It reset.
Oh, okay. Holy crap.
So at 13, I've got the Packers doing something they have never done before in the history of their franchise. They're taking a wide receiver in the first round. They're going
for the wrong quarterback.
They're going Jackson Smith. Help me out here, Eric.
Njigba.
Is the N silent?
Njigba.
Njigba. Okay. Jackson Smith and Njigba.
I want this to happen so bad. The meltdown on social media would be hilarious.
Yes.
They have to go wide receiver. They have nobody to throw it to.
They don't have a choice.
It's him and Christian Watson at that point.
So what are the odds of the Packers doing their normal thing, saying, "Hey, we're going to take a defensive lineman or linebacker here"? Or they're a DB team.
Yeah, they like their DBs in the first round. I could also see them going tight end. I could see them going like Dalton Kincaid or Omer. But
is it too early for that though?
I mean, what, you're at 13? Yeah, I mean, maybe I'd say they probably go wide receiver over tight end, but
they're going to take whoever the best pass catcher is. So if you think that's Kincaid or Mayer or Washington,
yeah,
or Smith and Jigba, Quentin Johnson, whoever, like that's who it's going to be.
Yeah.
So, with the 14th pick, New England Patriots are taking a wide receiver to give Mac Jones more options. We are taking Mr. Jordan Addison. Addison, he's undersized. Not the most athletic wide receiver in this draft, but let me tell you what, the guy is one of the purest route runners I've seen. In his career, he's got over 3,000 receiving yards and 29 total touchdowns. Blitnikoff winner, literally made Kenny Pickett a first round wide receiver.
That he did.
The guy's a stud. He can probably do the same thing for Mac Jones. Because let's face it, you're at New England. You are now the worst team in your division.
You mean Bailey Zappi?
Stop it.
Can we backpedal like 30 seconds ago? You think Kenny Pickett's bad?
I think he made him a first rounder last year.
I mean, the competition was Malik Willis.
Who was the other? Wait, wasn't there another guy? That was it. Who else was it? I can't remember.
Not really. No. It was in the first round. It was considered Pickett and Willis, and that was it. I think another quarterback ended up getting drafted.
Bad quarterback, but they all missed and should have drafted Brock Purdy.
Yeah, you had Malik Willis, Kenny Pickett, Sam Howell that went in the 4th round, Desmond Ridder in the 2nd round, Matt Corral in the 3rd or 4th. I can't remember.
But see, Howell and Corral were getting late first round vibes though. Towards the last couple of days.
Brock Purdy was Mr. Irrelevant last year.
Yep.
Hey Starkey, how does it feel that Matt Corral will never get a chance to start for the Panthers?
He'll go to a team that will actually appreciate him. He'll ball out. He won't be a backup.
He'll be a backup.
Did we mess up, by the way? Don't the Jets have 13 now?
The Jets traded back to 15.
No,
That's right. I got them mixed up.
Yeah.
Jets had 13. They traded to 15.
That's right. You're right. I had it backwards.
Oh, real fast, boys. So who won the Aaron Rodgers trade?
The team that got Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably the team that got Aaron Rodgers, but
I think
The team that no longer has to start Zach Wilson and whoever Mike White.
Actually, no, Mike White is down in he's the backup for Tua now.
What happened to Skylar Thompson?
He's the third stringer.
That was the worst playoff game I've ever watched in my life.
I felt so bad for that kid. Even though I feel like he's like older than me and I'm pushing 30.
Join the club. It happens.
Starkey, you are 30.
I am 30.
I don't know. I think the fact they get to keep their first round draft pick, they literally just moved back 2 picks and got Aaron Rodgers, the best thing ever. The GM for the Jets, I was reading an article today. He said this trade is going to help Zach Wilson more than anybody will ever know.
Yeah, by
Not
getting
out
him
the
off
door.
the field.
This trade is going to help elevate him to the next level. He said Zach Wilson has the highest ceiling in the NFL.
If by next level you mean the next level in the organization, aka assistant coach, then yes, sure.
yeah, I just
Does anyone
Zach
know if
Wilson.
Aaron's mom is Aaron Rodgers' mom and dad still married? Or
I don't think he even knows that.
yeah, he.
I'm just saying, if I'm Aaron
Although
Rodgers,
at
I'm
this
definitely
point-
hiding my mom from Zach Wilson.
Although at this point, does Zach Wilson care?
Zach Wilson's going to try to get with Aaron's mom as revenge. I'm
Well, he
calling
did
it
say
now.
that he's going to make whatever quarterback they bring in, it's going to make his life clean this up a little bit, a nightmare. So we'll see. We're going to see how that goes.
Well, I can't wait to see it on the Pat McAfee show next week. I'm excited for it. So, Matt, you have the next pick.
All right, Jets on the clock, pick 15. I think it's a no-brainer here. They go tackle. I could see them either going you got Paris Johnson Jr. and Broderick Jones still on the board. I can see them going with either of those guys, but I think we're gonna pick Paris Johnson Jr. out of Ohio State. Boring pick, good pick.
That's a good pick.
But
No complaint.
Jets need a tackle. So I think that's the pick for them.
Oh, real fast, we're moving away from the Jets. So, what's the toughest division in football now? The AFC West, AFC North,
I think it's the
the
AFC
AFC
East
South.
now, right?
or the East? Sorry,
I think
there's no
the
NFC team.
But last year we thought it was going to be, the AFC West is amazing. There's going to be 4 teams, but all 4 teams are going to go to the playoffs. And
Well, good God, no one saw the freaking Broncos only winning 5 games this year.
it ended up stinking. And the Chargers didn't even make the playoffs.
Yeah, they did.
Or did the
They got beat by
playing well,
They blew that lead to Jacksonville. They charged the game
yeah.
up.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Sorry. Lost to Jacksonville in the playoffs.
Hey man, the AFC South runs through Jacksonville now.
Yeah, I know it does. It's embarrassing. Clown time.
We them boys.
Clown time.
Clown time.
Hey, how
All
about
right.
this? Bro, I saw it today. The Jets were 0-13 2 years ago. All they had to do was lose out. They ended up winning the last two out of the last 3 of their games to get the number 2 pick.
Yeah, they got Zach Wilson instead of Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence, who led a team to the playoffs, won a playoff game, and is looking like one of the next great quarterbacks in the NFL.
But we have to think too. Had that not happened, they wouldn't be in a spot to get Rodgers.
He could be going to Jacksonville.
That's true.
All right, I'm
Okay,
up,
Eric.
All right, I have the Commanders coming up next. Need a corner. There's a couple on the board that we still like. I think the one that I, as the Commander GM, will take, and this hurts me because there's a certain one on here that I thoroughly enjoy as a college player. I will take Joey Porter Jr. here.
You
Has
didn't
the
go with the
NFL
homer?
pedigree. He's ready to go. He's a good corner.
I was kind of hoping he would slide to Pittsburgh, just a little honor thing for him to go play for his dad's team. But hey, it's a solid pick. Solid pick, Starkey.
All right. So for the Steelers, sorry guys, we are going to go. I think they go here. Broderick Jones. I'm going to give them Jones.
Good pick.
Is that the Tennessee offensive lineman?
Georgia offensive
That's
lineman.
Georgia.
Georgia tackle.
Eric freaking reamed up for that one. Whoa. He got
No, I'm
excited.
just trying to keep track of everything.
Do you have a spreadsheet going on your laptop over there?
No.
I'm gonna say if you do, that's impressive. I love that.
I've got a live mock going on.
Yeah, I'm
Pro
doing a
Football
draft.
Focus that I'm
That's
currently.
what I'm doing. I'm doing the exact same thing. The draft simulator.
I just made notes during lunch today.
I got the notes out. I've got a player ranking list and a mock draft list and a list of team needs up.
You definitely did your research.
So this is all on the fly, homie.
I've got a
mine?
I've got a list of team needs up as well. That's kind of what I'm just basing my picks on.
With the 18th pick, the future NFC North champions are taking to solidify their defense the next Aaron Donald. Elijah Cansey.
Wow.
The next Aaron Donald. Same size, same build. Guy is a freak of nature. Wreaks havoc. He's going to help literally the worst defense in the NFL last year into one of the best. Pairing him up with Aiden Hutchinson is going to be chaotic. Guy as a defensive tackle had 34 and a half sacks in his career. He
That's
ran
wild. That number is
a 4.6 40 at 281 pounds. Guy is going to be a stud. Lions will make the playoffs next year.
Yeah, that's a pretty solid bet.
I'm gonna go ahead and lock some money on it tomorrow, probably.
Yeah, I mean they were a solid team last year, and they got 2 first-round picks this year.
Shout out to Starkey.
You're welcome.
Okay, with the 19th pick, who we taking?
We have Tampa Bay, and I think Tampa Bay is just in rebuild mode. They could go quarterback. But we're gonna go Darnell Wright, tackle out of Tennessee. They need O-line help. So
Wait, you don't believe in Kyle Trask?
I mean, who knows,
Baker?
man? Who
Baker's the
knows?
one starting there.
Yeah. Who
I have
knows?
faith in Trask.
I think they're in rebuild mode, and shoot, they might tank for next year.
I mean, they shouldn't look. They still got 2 elite wide receivers.
Who's throwing the ball?
He's
And the only person on
maybe-
the board left is Hendon Hooker. He's coming off a ACL.
And he's 30.
Yeah, and
he's 25.
He's the
Yeah,
same
he's-
age as Stetson Bennett, and all we do is make fun of how old Stetson Bennett is.
he's the same age as me. I graduated.
And
Why
Stetson
do I
Bennett
feel
doesn't.
animosity between you and Stetson Bennett?
Stetson Bennett doesn't have an ACL tear.
I just feel like you have a lot of built-up hatred to
'Cause
Stetson Bennett.
Stetson Bennett should be someone that we all like because he's like a short, plucky white. Like he went to JUCO, he walked on at Georgia, and then he became a 2-time national champion. Like that is an awesome story. But he is such a mean dude.
I didn't know he was
Since
mean.
I have to be PG, I can't say what I want to say.
You want to say douche?
He's a douche.
I didn't think he was ever. I thought he was nice.
He literally got arrested like 2 months ago.
So did Baker. What
Yeah,
quarterback
Baker
hasn't?
stinks.
What Pat McAfee got arrested in a fountain, and y'all worship that
He
man.
punts. I don't want my quarterback getting arrested right before the draft.
Name me a player that hasn't got arrested in the NFL.
Peyton
Hey,
Manning.
He's not in the NFL right now.
Stafford's never been arrested.
Gardner Minshew.
There's
There's a
sure
laundry
Gardner's
list
been
of
arrested
people.
at least once in his life. That's the guy that literally kicks back natty lights on the weekends. I'm pretty
Is that
sure he's got a
crime?
couple DUIs.
I do
we
that
don't know
every
about.
weekend. Not Natty Lights, but I do that every weekend. I haven't been arrested.
Michael Pittman.
Cooper
Alex
Kupp.
Pierce. Cooper Kupp. Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford might have gotten arrested. Who knows?
I think Matthew Stafford got arrested at Georgia for public intoxication.
Definitely might have.
He was definitely a Bud Light guy back in college.
Seattle's on the clock.
Yeah. All right. With Seattle, we took what we feel as the best defensive player at number 5 overall earlier in the draft. A little bit of a slide there. The tight ends are falling. It's time to pop open the can. We've been watching George Kittle run the NFC West for years now. We're getting the souped up version of George Kittle and Michael Mayer. We're going to take Michael Mayer at 20.
Ooh, interesting.
Blocking, pass catching, give Geno a big target.
To pair him up with DK and Tyler Lockett, holy crap.
Yeah, there are
So-
3 tight ends that are awesome in this draft, but I think just by what I feel Pete Carroll enjoys, I think he will enjoy watching Michael Mayer play for his football team.
So Mayer over Kincaid.
I think for the Seahawks, yes.
I think Mayer's better over Kincaid any day of the week. I mean, I have a hot take. I would take Darnell Washington over. I think he's the tight end number 2. Just because of his future. But, hey, that's a good pick. And tell you what, if Seattle does this and hits everybody stays healthy, I think the NFC West is going to be a freaking 2. You don't know who's going to win that.
We know who's not going to win it.
The Cardinals.
And
Suck
Los
for
Angeles.
Williams.
Crap for Caleb.
Sorry about that. Remy
Okay,
had to
Starkey,
make-
you're on the clock.
All right. So at 22, we got the Chargers. We are going to give the Chargers. Let's see here. They need a little bit of We're going to give them maybe a little bit of a reach. Quentin Johnson.
Ooh,
Yeah, that's
I
a
don't
good
like
pick.
that. No, it's not a good pick. Because now I don't know what the heck I'm
Okay.
gonna do.
Were you?
I don't know what the heck I'm
Bro,
gonna do
I
at
was gonna say,
23
holy
now.
crap. I was gonna say that's a solid pick
Should have
because
traded up, man.
No,
hey, the
no,
22
like
pick is on the table.
Minnesota's
Make
gonna
me an
get the
offer.
guy that they
The
want.
Seahawks at 20 definitely would have listened. By the way,
Minnesota's gonna get
That's a
the
good
guy
pick.
they
I mean, that
want.
gives them a
It's all
Mike.
good.
That literally gives them a Mike Williams and Keenan Allen insurance card right there because neither one of those two can freaking stay healthy. And I think
And
I
Keenan
always end up
Allen's-
taking.
Keenan
I
Allen's
take.
getting up there in age. So
I always end up taking him or Mike Williams every year. I tell myself I'm never going to draft one of them, but then they always fall to me, and I always take one, and then they're out half the year with a freaking hamstring injury. So you screwed me there, Starkey. So with the 22 overall pick, the Ravens, unless 23 wants to move up to get somebody.
No, I'm good. No, we're good. We're sitting pretty.
Are you sure? Okay.
Yeah, we're sitting.
We're
gonna
going to
get the guy we
take
want.
the reigning Bolitnikoff Award winner. We're taking Jalen Hyatt. We're
Ooh.
giving LaMarcus Jackson. Jackson. Lamar Jackson. I don't Brad Brand. Dude, words are hard today.
the guy
I'm
named
going off
Lamar.
3 hours sleep. Lamar Jackson. We're giving
interesting
Lamar.
him over Zay Flowers.
I'm not big on Zay Flowers. I think he's too small. He has no body fat from what I've read. He takes a couple hits. He could be out for a bit. Granted, his production's way better, but I think Jalen Hyatt fits the mold of what Lamar needs. A deep ball guy. You got Odell will take the slot stuff. You still got Mark Andrews, but you're giving him more weapons for him to let the ball rip to. And you got to make your quarterback happy. Giving him a weapon he actually freaking needs, that's not named Hollywood Brown, is going to suffice. I think that is a great pick for the Ravens.
Yeah, it's a fun pick, but we're going to keep the run on receivers going at 23rd. And we're going to get the guy that Minnesota wanted all along. And that is the guy that Jared said is too small, Zay Flowers. He's short, but he's not small, Jared. There's a difference.
He was 180 pounds.
Yeah. 180-pound dude. He had 78
small, man.
receptions.
I mean, you got to think,
1,000 yards,
who's your
12 touchdowns last year. They just need a number 2. Actually, they don't even need a number 2. They need a number 3. Because they still have help me out. Who's the number 2? I mean,
KJ Osborne.
KJ Osborne. And they just need a third receiver. And I think Jordan or Zay Flowers provides up.
All right, Jacksonville is on the clock. The runner receiver. Go ahead, Jared.
This is actually Jerry Jones calling.
Jerry Jones.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. Don't know what day of the week it is, but I will give you a first this year and a fourth next year for the 24th pick.
So I'm moving back 2 spots and getting the 4th round pick.
Hey, you're dealing with Jerry Jones. You know what you're getting.
No, I want a 2nd round pick.
Second, I'll give you a third next year.
Give me a conditional 3rd. If they play 75% of the snaps, I get a 2nd.
I will give you a third, and I will throw in. One second. I will throw in Jabril Cox, LSU linebacker.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm worried about the Jets or the Giants snagging my pick in between me.
I'm trying to give you more linebacker depth. You need it.
Give me a 3rd and Jabril Cox.
Third and
Move
Jabril
back 2
Cox.
spots.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we can make that work.
Dallas, we were jumping up. We're lagging. We're not getting my boy from Arkansas. Drew Sanders. I did not plan on taking him. I didn't think he'd fall to me, but we are taking the guy is the white Micah Parsons. He can play hand in the dirt, and he can play in coverage. And plus, having him as your playing the Micah Parsons role at linebacker literally lets Micah Parsons play where he belongs at defensive end. And literally having two guys that can play anywhere on the field is freaking amazing. I think that's a great pick, I think. And I will buy the jersey the second this pick happens.
Who'd you even pick?
Drew Sanders.
Drew Sanders, linebacker.
I thought you were saying I'm not picking Drew Sanders.
No, I'm taking Drew Sanders. I didn't think I was going to. I thought he'd be gone by now, but the white Micah Parsons.
Brian Brissy or tight end since you let Dalton Schultz walk.
Yeah.
Brian Branch for safety help.
Could have gotten him in the second round, Jared.
No, he couldn't have. Listen, we got Stephon Gilmore as our cornerback. We don't need secondary help.
I don't think the Giants were rushing up to draft Drew Sanders, homie.
Hey, in our division, you need all the linebacker help you can get.
Yeah. I think even though they got Bobby, I think they still need linebackers. But there's another linebacker, if they do go that route, there's another arguably better linebacker still available. Anyway, who's up?
Miles Murphy.
Giants are up.
Yeah, it's you, Matt.
No, it's not. I don't have the Giants.
It's me. I think.
I don't think I do.
I was supposed to pick 24. So, yes,
It's
you're right.
Starkey.
It would be you, Starkey. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So, okay. At 26, the Giants are taking Deontay Banks, corner out of Maryland.
25.
Oh, yeah. It is technically 25 because 21 was given up. That's what.
Eric's boys falling hard.
Who,
You
Forbes?
got him right where you want him?
Are you talking about Forbes?
Yeah, we don't have to talk about Forbes. We can do that here in a second.
Who did you take?
Pick Deontay Banks from Maryland.
Who the crap is that?
He's like the 10th rated player on the board.
He's solid. Pac-Man Jones on the Pat McAfee show today said he struggles off the line, but I think he's like
Wait, they have Pac-Man
he's in
Jones
the
down
third
as
or
like a
fourth
commentator?
rated corner.
Yeah.
Jesus, what is the world coming to?
This is a
Pac-Man
good
Jones.
corner class, by the way.
Oh,
It's a solid corner class.
it's a solid tight end and corner class.
Yeah, it's a really
Right.
good tight end class.
And with the 26th pick after the trade down, this hurts my soul, but the Jaguars need corner help. I know that people are going to complain about the size, but this dude led the SEC in not only interceptions, but pick sixes. He ran a 4.4. He makes tackles in space. Stop looking at the 170 pounds and focus on how good of a player this is. We're taking Emmanuel Forbes at 26.
Definitely be the pick. 160 pounds, I hear, or I've read, is scaring people on Forbes. He weighed in like
For you, 180 is
pounds.
great.
He weighed 166 at the combine, 170 at his pro day. The dude tackles in space. He doesn't get like jammed up at the line. Like he's good. The weight thing will sort itself out. First and foremost, can you take the ball away from me? Oh, you can? Cool.
So, are the Jaguars like the next 5-year contender in the AFC South?
They have all the tools. I mean, and they have the best quarterback in the division on a rookie contract. So
It just pisses me off. Evan Ingram's.
it's a novel concept of spending money in free agency on positions of need. It's wild to think about.
Yeah, what's that like? We just trade all of our first rounders away.
We don't have any money.
Who, Dallas?
We had to cut Zeke.
The culturally
get fired.
only team in the NFL that still acts like the salary cap exists.
I swear. It's tough being a Colts fan. They don't. They signed a kicker as free agency. That's it. It's the biggest contract a
That
kicker's
day.
Get Hot Rod back.
ever. No. Hot Rod was
No, if
garbage.
I remember distinctly, you kept saying forever, Hot Rod is the kicker of our future.
Yeah, those words came out of my mouth. It could be,
I
probably.
remember you
I said it
discreetly
could be.
saying that forever. He's the next Adam Vinatieri.
If I loved him whenever he hit that game winner against Green Bay 2 years ago.
And then where's he now?
He's, who knows, on somebody's couch. Doing his
Somebody's couch, not his own couch. He's on
Legos
somebody
set.
else's couch.
Working on his
He's playing with
Legos
his
set.
Legos.
Yeah. Okay. Enough Rod talk. I love Hot Rod, but he just wasn't very good. Buffalo Bills are at 27. I can see them trading back. I mean, they kind of need wide receiver. And there's not really any wide receivers left. But they also need Tremaine Edmonds went to Chicago, if I'm
Yeah.
not wrong.
They
He
paid
went
him
Chicago.
that. They
So-
overpaid for him.
We're gonna go linebacker, and we're gonna go Jack Campbell out of Iowa. Another one of Kirk's dogs.
He's not an athletic guy. He's just your typical blue collar Big
And that's
Ten
why
linebacker.
that's why he's getting drafted at 27 and not top 10. I mean, he's still
Yeah,
a really good
obviously-
player.
I've been seeing stuff where the Bills take a tight end here.
They could definitely go like Dalton Kincaid or
I mean, is the Dawson
kid
Knox
out of Georgia.
hype over?
Do what?
Is the Dawson Knox hype over?
It might be. They could go Kincaid here. But was Knox hurt last year? His production wasn't really there like it normally is. Or what like it has been in the past. Was he hurt any last year?
I
No,
think he was distracted.
The Bills receiving core was fully healthy.
Yeah, that's true.
But with Knox, I think Knox was distracted because his brother passed away right before the season.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. If they don't trade down, I think they just go defense right there. Because if they don't go wide receiver, but in our mock, there's not anybody worth getting in the first round anymore. I don't think.
All right, the Bengals are on the clock. They're looking at a lineman. They don't know which side of the ball yet, but I believe they're going to settle on the Clemson defensive lineman, Brian Brissy.
It's a good pick.
That's a solid pick.
Whenever you're great, you just build the trenches. Whenever you have a really good team, that's all you do.
I can see him going tight end though, but
Yeah,
with Breesy literally falling all the way that far, yeah, you got to snack him.
they did also lose Hayden Hurst this offseason. But with there's only one tight end off the board. You still have three, or you still have the big two that we've talked about, and Sam Laporta that you can go get in day two. So I don't think they're sweating at this point.
I mean, heck, they are in win now mode though. With Joe Burrow's contract coming up soon, and then you got to pay Jamar Chase the next year, and you got T. Higgins one more year on a contract. You were definitely in win now mode.
You need someone out there that can chase Mahomes around for a little bit.
And then Josh Allen, of course. Okay, Starkey.
All right. So at 30, we got the Saints.
It's 29,
And-
right?
Yeah, we're
Hang
at
on.
20.
Yeah, Troy. Yeah, 29.
29. I don't know. Yeah, 29. Sorry. The Saints are going to go offensive line help to help out Derek Carr. We're going to give them guard Osiris Torrance out of Florida.
That's a good pick.
Yeah, I think he's considered the best draft.
You know, probably the only person. I don't know how the Saints are going to do this year. A lot of people are high on them. I'm not. I think they're playing in the worst division in football, and they may just win the division because everybody else is in rebuild mode.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest Derek Carr fan in the world, so.
And plus, you don't know what freaking Michael Thomas is going to do.
I don't think you know what you're going to get out of all 4 of those teams next year. I think
Kamara's supposed to be suspended any day now.
I think any one of those teams can win the division.
I wouldn't go with the Falcons.
Except not, I don't know about Tampa Bay. I don't know if Tampa Bay's winning anything. They don't have a quarterback.
They have the defense to win.
They're going to ride with Ritter.
Stop it. They just signed Heineke
to back up Ritter. Atlanta's already said Ritter's their guy.
That's what Washington said about signing Jacoby Brissett, too. He's going to back up Sam Howell.
I mean, I don't think you pay a backup $10 million a year.
Colts did.
Eric, I got a question. Is that a Carson Wentz jersey?
God, no.
Oh, I thought you were wearing your Wentz jersey.
I have self-respect.
The thing's in a dump somewhere in Nashville.
No, that jersey will be worth money one day.
What a useless waste of $100.
Can we go on the record right now? For you two, if Gardner Minshew takes y'all to the playoffs this year, on the record, can we have a commitment that y'all will buy a Gardner Minshew jersey?
Homie, if Gardner Minshew wins 6 games, I'll buy a Gardner Minshew jersey.
Deal. Holding him to that.
Y'all heard it here
I don't
first.
think Gardner Minshew is going to be, unless somebody were to get injured, I don't think Gardner Minshew is going to be the starting quarterback next year.
I think he will be if it's Anthony Richardson. I don't think he will be if it's either of the other 3.
Yeah.
Who do you think's going to beat him out?
If it's
Big
anybody
Nick?
else other than Anthony Richardson, I think the other quarterback will be starting.
If it's Bryce Young's going to be ready to play. If it's Stroud's going to be ready to play. If it's Levis, the dude's already 23. You have to figure something out. Richardson's the one you can wait on.
Yeah.
So yeah, Gardner Minshew will lead y'all to 6 wins, and Eric's going to buy a jersey. We got it on quote.
JUCO
It's gotta be the
national
white
champion, the pride of Senatobia, Mississippi, Gardner Minshew.
I mean, are we only counting his JUCO days? Wouldn't he be the pride of Brandon?
Good Northwest Rangers.
What
Right,
about East Carolina? I saw him play there. I didn't realize that was him till like 3-4 years later. I went back and watched the game. Dude, he was garbage there.
Yeah. Shout out Mike Leach. Rest in peace.
I was about to say, yeah, and he goes to Washington State and kills it.
Mm-hmm.
Love the mustache though. So with the 30th pick, this was a tough one for me. The Eagles were loading up on defense this year. We are taking Mr. Brian Branch.
Brian Branch, safety.
They lost C.J. Gardner-Johnson left. Their defense is getting older. NFL is pass heavy. This guy's the top safety target in the NFL. He gives immediate help to a team that just went to the Super Bowl. He's going to help them compete. Day one, he'll be the starter. I think it's a solid pick, and it helps the Eagles get back to the promised land.
He might be the only safety worth targeting.
I didn't really see any other safeties getting any type of buzz.
Yeah.
I think it's like a 1 or 2 safety draft.
Oh, who drafted for the Ravens? Did you draft for the Ravens?
Who?
You.
Yeah, I drafted for the Ravens.
You should have just taken the highest rated Alabama prospect. You know that's what Ozzy's going to do. Or the ghost of Ozzie Newsome, if he's still there, I have no clue.
So we're going to take freaking Brian Branch over getting Lamar Jackson help.
And they already have what's the guy that they drafted last year? Kyle
Hamilton.
Yeah.
Kyle Hamilton. And they drafted Linderbaum. Right? Is that the name? Iowa center?
Yeah, Lindenbaum.
Linderbaum? Yeah.
So yeah, Ozzie Newsome is still he's the executive VP of player personnel.
It's all right. Jameer Gibbs will be there. For him to take it the second.
Who for who?
For for Ravens.
They got J.K. Dobbins, if healthy.
That's the problem.
Hey, Paris Campbell is the story of a reclamation project. Give him 1 year, he'll produce.
Paris Campbell stinks.
That was another Frank Reich love child.
Yeah.
I thought y'all loved Paris Campbell.
Was he a Frank Reich guy or was he a Chris Ballard guy?
If you watch with the last pick or whatever, or with the next pick, whatever that series is that they put out, great series, by the way. I would recommend it. It's on YouTube.
Yeah, I do remember Frank saying something, this dude's.
Yeah, Frank used to just
about when he was
love
talking about Paris Campbell. I do remember that. He might have been right, but Paris just can't stay healthy. Okay, we ready for the last pick, boys?
Finish us off, Matthew.
Well, what do you do whenever you're the best team in the NFL? You don't really need a whole lot. Let's just draft D-line or O-line. That's exactly what Kansas City's going to do. They could draft Toy and Dalton Kincaid, but they have Travis Kelce. So let's just get an edge rusher out of Georgia, super freak athlete, good dude, Nolan Smith.
That's a
I
good
can't
pick.
believe he fell that far.
I can't either, if I'm being honest.
Combine freak.
As the owner of, by the way, I've just unilaterally decided that I'm picking for the Steelers since I got one less pick than the rest of y'all. They have the first pick in the second round. As the owner of the first pick in the second round, the Steelers are very upset by that.
Who are the Steelers taking in the second round?
They're taking Miles Murphy, the edge rusher out of Clemson.
Jesus, that's a scary line of JJ or TJ
TJ
Watt.
Watt and Miles Murphy on the opposite end, along with Joey Porter Jr. roaming the outside.
So who got snubbed? Jameer
No, wait,
Gibbs
Joey
got-
Porter Jr. ended up going to the Commanders.
Yeah, Broderick Jones is who he took. You're right.
Hey, that's all fine and good as long as my man Will McDonald IV makes it to 36. That's all I'm really caring about right now.
Matt, you mentioned the snubs. Jameer Gibbs is someone that everyone says is going in the first round. I don't know where.
I don't know where either.
Dalton Kincaid. Maybe the Eagles
wait, you mean to
at
tell
30
me
if they
for the
don't take
first-
Bijan?
Somebody's going to trade up or something.
For two
and
running
get-
backs in the first round? That's unheard of.
Dalton Kincaid didn't get picked.
Darnell
Anton
Washington.
Harrison, he didn't get picked, did he? The Oklahoma tackle.
No, he didn't.
Mozzie Smith, a combine freak that a lot of people love from Michigan. He didn't get picked. A guy that's climbing up draft boards, combine freak, Keon White from Georgia Tech.
Yeah. A guy that everyone used to like that doesn't for some reason anymore, Keely Ringo, fell to the second round.
Yeah.
Yeah. Felix, edge rush out of Kansas State. I'm not gonna even attempt that name because I don't want Eric to rush me.
Felix Enudike Uzama.
Yeah. He's getting a little bit of love at the end of the first, but I think he's more of a top second guy.
BJ Ojolari from LSU. He destroyed Mississippi State last year.
Okay.
And
so
then-
before-
And
Go
then,
ahead.
of course, you have Hendon Hooker.
So, before we get into our prop bet part of the night, who is going to be, I want everybody to say who is their biggest bust going to be?
Drew Sanders, linebacker, Arkansas.
I mean, you want me to say it?
Say it.
Yeah.
Will Levis, dude.
I'm going with who was it? Find my notes. I think based on where he's getting picked, I think Tyree Wilson could be a massive bust.
Yeah, I
His
think that's
stats
very
aren't
possible.
there.
Yeah.
Also, I'm not the biggest Jalen Hyatt fan. I know you picked him in the first round tonight, Jared, but
It
Quentin
was a
Johnston's
reach.
another one that he seems more like a one route guy. So it'll be interesting to see if he can broaden that route tree a little bit.
What about
Starkey, who's your
Jalen?
bust?
I don't know if he's going to be a bust. I just wouldn't have taken him where he was, but Michael Mayer. I would have gone Kincaid over Mayer, but that's just me. But Eric made a good point that Mayer's fit for Seattle probably makes way more sense.
I don't think you can go wrong with any of the top 3 tight ends. Like if you
Yeah,
told me, like if you came in here and you were like, Eric, I'm a huge Darnell Washington fan, I would be like, yeah, man, you probably have some good points to make.
I think he's going to be one of the biggest fallers.
Darnell, really? He's
Yeah.
he's a
I've been reading
6'5" monster.
I think he could go. I've been reading stuff. He's going to go late second now.
Wow.
Kind of hard to imagine a 6'7", 280-pound tight end that can run a 4.6 40 goes. So let's do our prop bet portion. So we're going to do just top 4 picks. Let's make some money, fellas. Who is the I think we're all in agreement here. Bryce Young is going number 1, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so that locks us in at minus 140 for Bryce Young. Okay. Number 2 pick. Who is going number 2? At plus 135, Tyree Wilson. Plus 185, Will Levis. And plus 600, Will Anderson. Or plus 900.
Dude, I think it
CJ
might be
Stroud.
Anthony Richardson.
it could be Stroud, Wilson. It could be Anderson. It could be any of those guys that we just.
It should be Stroud. The only reason I
should
don't is because his agent's the same as Deshaun Watson.
I'm going to go
Oh,
Stroud.
crap. I didn't know that. So he's plus 1,000 to go second overall.
Stroud or Richardson?
Stroud.
The word on the street is they do not like Stroud, or I don't know, or they don't like his agent, or they're not picking Stroud. Is the word
Because they got burned last time.
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't the
Well,
ones
you're
that had
supposed
to
to know the guy has a sex addiction to masseuses.
That agent apparently knows how to pick them.
Obviously, he didn't do a good job picking the masseuses to go to his house.
I think it's going to be Stroud. I'll probably.
This is for
I'll say
money,
Stroud. I
fellas.
think it's going to be Will.
I won't believe that they're not picking a quarterback until it happens. So for that reason, I would say either Levis or Richardson. It depends on how much bang for your buck you want.
Do we want Richardson?
Plus
1,100.
I'm leaving it up to the panel. If the panel wants to go defense here, I'm not ashamed of that either.
Matthew?
What are we saying? I'm sorry, I got an email.
Are we going Anthony Richardson, Levis, or defense?
Right now, I would say defense. Right now,
So are we going Tyree Wilson or Will Anderson?
Will Anderson.
Give me Will.
Okay, so we're taking Will Anderson at plus 600. Okay, so number 3, are we going Tyree Wilson, Will Anderson, or C.J. Stroud, Paris Johnson, Anthony Richardson, or Will Levis?
Paris Johnson.
He's
That's
plus
only
350.
because Tyler said something about loving Paris Johnson.
Can you? Okay, that's good to know, Matt. Can you read those? And I'm not that I realize halfway through that sounded facetious. I don't mean it that way, and I'll explain why here in a second. Can you read through those odds again?
Tyree Wilson plus 320, Will Anderson plus 350, C.J. Stroud plus 350, Paris Johnson plus 350, Richardson plus 600, and Levis plus 1,200.
I was hoping the Stroud odds were lower. I would go Stroud because I think someone's going to trade into that pick.
I do too. I think somebody's going to trade into the 3. I don't
And
think. I know we didn't do that in our mock, but I think somebody's going to trade into 3.
And if Matt's right and Kyler loves, what's his name?
Paris Johnson Jr.
Paris Johnson, then they can trade back. I mean, you could probably trade as far back as 7 with the Raiders or 11 or 12 with the Titans or Texans and have a decent shot at them.
So that leaves us with the 4th pick. The final one for it is Will Levis at plus 130. CJ Stroud plus 210. Anthony Richardson plus 300. Will Anderson plus 1,400. Tyree Wilson plus 1,600. And Jalen Carter plus 4,000. We either go Levis or go Richardson here, fellas.
I think
Vegas is never wrong on this stuff.
I think
Just
the best bet. I think the best bet's Levis, unfortunately.
Of the two, I think Levis is safer. I think Richardson's going to be a bust. He's the next.
If we're talking between Richardson and Levis, I think it's going to be Levis.
Eric?
2 out of 3, man.
Okay, so we're going Will Levis. Okay, boys. Over unders now. We're almost done.
You're not making the bet, okay?
I don't want I do have a bet with Jared, ironically enough, about Will Levis going to the Colts.
What was the bet? What are we betting on again?
It was $10.
Oh yeah, $10. yeah, I forgot.
I just need anyone not named Will Levis. Yeah. I just need anyone not named Will Levis to go 4th overall.
God, I hope so. I hope I'm right. I get it all in. Okay, so total number of quarterbacks drafted in the first round. Over, under, 4.5. We taking the under? The under is plus 158.
The Hendon Hooker just screams Malik Willis drop to me for some reason.
Yeah, it's 4.5. I don't see any way Hendon Hooker gets drafted in the first round. I'm sorry.
So we're taking the under?
Unless the Vikings just love Hendon Hooker.
He's coming off a torn ACL. He's 25 years old, coming off a torn ACL.
And he ran a 1-read offense
this year. Who's drafting him in the first round?
I'm with you, Matt.
I can see somebody trade back up in to get him.
I don't even know if you want to give him draft capital for that, though.
I saw a mock today. The Rams trade up to 25 to get him.
I mean, that's so against everything Les Snead's ever done.
Over under running backs in the first round, 1.5.
I think you got to go. Oh, Starkey's disagree. I think I would say over, but I just don't know where Jahmyr Gibbs would go.
Yeah, I know we didn't do it in our mock.
116.
Almost every mock I have seen has Jahmyr Gibbs in the first round. Everyone has obviously Robinson first round. But
I think that only thing that matters with Robinson, if he goes to the Eagles, I think if Robinson goes to the Eagles at 10, then Gibbs is not a first rounder.
I think that one's a flip of the coin.
Why?
Because I don't see the Eagles taking. I don't see anybody else really taking a running back in the first round.
What about like the Saints?
They just signed Jamal Williams.
Oh, did they?
What about the Chiefs? I mean, they were running out of Pacheco in the Super Bowl.
The Chiefs,
Pacheco, they love him.
New York,
from what my dad said, they're not. From what he's been reading and listened to, they're not taking. They're what Matt said, linemen.
New York
this is Edward Hilaire's year, y'all.
Shut up! Stop it.
New York
that guy so freaking
high. We are forgetting the number one option for this. The freaking Bills at 27.
Apparently,
they're running out Nyheim Hines and Devin Singletary.
Hey, that's Matt's boy. He got starstruck by.
I love Nyheim Hines.
The only thing that's steering me off of the Bills is that they apparently love. Help me out. His kid that they drafted last year.
Cook.
Cook, yeah, James Cook.
Oh, James Cook. I forgot about James Cook.
Apparently they love him.
There's also the Austin Eckler insurance, the Chargers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he may get traded. I've been reading he may get
Chargers
moved.
could go running back. I think.
Hey, speaking of James Cook, did I tell y'all the story about how he ended up at Georgia?
Yes, multiple times.
I think you told me.
I have memory. I had like 8 concussions back in the day, guys. I'm sorry.
Also, I would love the irony of the Cowboys finally getting off that horrific Zeke contract and then immediately drafting a running back in the first round.
God, I hope so. Yeah, that is Jerry Jones fashion. I mean, heck, we drafted a punter, kicker, tight end hybrid in the 5th round one year. Freaking David Bueller. That's Jerry Jones. I mean, his son literally said, "I'm quitting my job today if you draft Johnny Manziel."
His son was smart. They took Zach Martin instead.
So, are we taking the over? Or we're going down the rabbit hole. Over under 1.5.
I like the over.
I'll take the over.
Okay, we're taking the over. Tight ends 2.5. Over is the underdog here at plus 198.
I think it's the under.
Yeah,
I do too. These tight ends don't scream trade in for to me or trade up for,
especially when there's so many of them.
they're great. Who's trading up into the first round for a tight end?
I mean, if Mayer's falling, I would, but that's the only guy I would do it for.
I can definitely see 2, definitely, but I don't think 3's getting drafted in the first round.
So over under wide receivers 3.5. Over is my
You gotta
1.06.
go. I think you gotta go over.
We had 5 wide receivers go.
We had 3 go in a row.
Yeah,
We had Smith and Jigba, Jordan Addison, Quentin Johnston, Jalen Hyatt, and Zay Flowers.
That's 5.
so our mock.
We also have to keep in mind that we're stupid.
Yeah, our mock says. Well, I think there'll definitely be 100% be 3. The question is, will there be 4? That is why there's.
Ningjiba, okay, so Ningjiba is locked. Quentin Johnson, is he locked at going first round?
No.
Starkey asked me how to pronounce his name earlier, and you still got it wrong.
It's fine.
Do we
So
think
is he a
Addison's
lock
lock?
at 1?
I think Addison is a lock. I think Quentin Johnston's a lock.
Zay Flowers a lock? Matt loves him.
No, John. Zay Flowers is not a lock. I think there's 2 100% locks. I think it's Smith and Jigba and Addison. I think any of the who we got? Quinn Johnson, Zay Flowers, and Hyatt. Any one of those 3 can maybe not go in the first round.
I think this is the hardest one of the night.
Yeah, there's for sure going to be 3 wide receivers drafted in the first round. The only question is there going to be 4.
What's
I
the
think
over
they're-
again?
I'm leaning more towards
3.5.
I'm leaning more towards there being 4 than only
I think we
3.
go over.
I think wide receivers always go.
Yeah.
We're taking the
Granted-
over.
Granted, this is by all accounts a bad wide receiver class.
Yeah, it's kind of
But it's also not a deep wide receiver class, too.
yeah. Which is why teams in the first round are gonna try and get these top guys.
So we taking the over or the under?
I'm with the over.
Over.
Over. Okay. We got 2 more. We'll wrap it up real fast. Defensive backs in the first round. 5.5.
Well, we took 5 corners alone, didn't we?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
we
got
took
Branch as your
5.
lone safety. Over is 5.5 is minus 188. Under is plus 140.
I'm taking the under on that. I know
there's three for
we had
sure.
6.
There's 3 for sure corners, right?
Gonzalez, Porter.
Weatherspoon, and Joey Porter Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Brian Brandt, safety. I don't know if somebody's going to draft a safety in the first round, though.
I would love for them to. I don't know if Emmanuel Forbes is going to be a first-round pick.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
What
if
about
Forbes is
Banks?
first round.
Yeah, Banks could be. So that would
I
get
think
you
teams are
4.
mixed on Banks. I think there's teams that love Banks, and I think there's teams
It's just
that
the 5 and the half part scares me. I don't know if you go 6 though, because like y'all said, Branch does a safety
Yeah.
go in the first round?
that's the thing is if we would need what our mock draft did to happen. All those guys get taken. I don't know if that's going to happen.
Well, per
Yeah.
Eric, we're stupid, so I think we
Oh,
take
I
the
know.
under.
I know. I'm stupid. I don't know about you
I'm
guys.
stupid too.
I'm pretty dumb. So let's go with the under.
Yeah,
I kind of dig the under too.
Okay, so that's plus 140. Last one, fellas, for the show. Offensive lineman drafted in the first round. 6.5.
Ooh.
We had
We didn't have that many.
we had 5 go, right?
2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 4 tackles on a guard.
Yeah.
So
It's
we go off our
5.5.
mock. We go off our mock draft and take the under at minus 118.
The problem is if we're taking out, we took the under on wide receivers and defensive backs, right? We're sliding Jahmyr Gibbs in. So someone else, like there's got to be another position where.
So we took the under on quarterbacks at 4.5, over on running backs at 1.5, under on tight ends at 2.5. We took the over on wide receivers.
Okay, so yeah, my point stands then. If we're taking the under on all of these, there's got to be a position that creeps up. Do we think it's offensive line? Do we think it's defensive line? Like, there's got to be someone's got
I
to
think
fill
it's
in the
D
gaps.
line or linebackers that go. D line linebackers get drafted heavy.
Okay, then if you think that, then I would say take the under on offensive linemen. Then
Are y'all with the under?
we got to
What
think
was
like
the
if
line?
there's
5.5.
6.5.
6.5.
Oh, 6. Wow.
I'll go under.
It's a numbers
Yeah.
game. We're card counters, Jared.
Yeah, we're card counters at the table.
Are you a good counting cards, Eric? Or
No, that's a quote from Moneyball.
I need you to be that
You
movie's
seen
okay.
what happens to the runt of the litter? He dies.
So we're taking the under.
Yep.
I'd say so.
Okay, folks, that is going to do it for the NFL mock draft of 2023. Hopefully, our picks are somewhat accurate come Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Real fast, am I the only person that misses the draft being on the weekends? So it's like all day Saturday and all day Sunday. I enjoyed that more.
I
than
love the
having
3 days.
I
like
do wish it
knocking-
was Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, that's right. Because the Thursday night doesn't get over till like midnight.
The problem
I'm
is
going to
Thursday
work on
night you
Friday.
got to go into work on Friday and
Where's
if you're
the draft
East
this year?
Coast, it's really bad. Because the
Is it in
draft
the
ends
Vegas?
at like midnight on the East Coast.
Oh yeah, it's Kansas City. You're right, Starkey.
It's like an odd place to do it.
I think they're just moving it around everywhere, aren't they?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
around.
I still regret not going to the Nashville one, but
They need to keep
I had
it in
a-
Nashville.
they did.
Yeah, they did it
Well,
in 20.
Well, I know. I'm saying they said that was like
19.
one of the best drafts like ever. They need to do that like every year.
That was the year I was moving up here.
Yeah.
I had a place to stay and everything, and I'd already made my mind up to go. And then my friend decided to get married that weekend, so I had to change my plan.
Ooh, you're a good friend for going to the wedding.
I was in the wedding. I didn't have much of a choice.
Ooh,
Oh, yeah. If I could go back 4 years, I would have been there. I was at
folks, that's
state-
going.
Sorry.
That's going to do it for tonight's episode. Folks, before you leave, we got our last ad read. When you're watching the draft in your comfort of your home, whether in Memphis, Nashville, Tennessee, Olive Branch, or Marigold, Mississippi, contact Mitchell James of Porch to Patio Home Inspecting for all your home inspecting needs. And unlike Morgan Wallen, he won't cancel on you.
You're not wrong.
Folks, y'all be safe. Have a great weekend, and hopefully our drafts are pretty great. Eric, you want to plug your stuff real fast?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at ebuzz18. Podcast B Team Podcast. I think the Twitter handle is BTeam1, BTeamPod1. I do this every time. I should know this by now. Guys, thank you for having me. This was a lot of fun.
Hey, thank you for
Absolutely.
coming. Matthew, do you want to plug your stuff?
I don't really have anything to plug, guys, but
We just talked about how you tweeted about the Grizzlies. Plug it.
I don't even know my Twitter handle.
Matthew Dickey something.
What is it? Let me see. It's Matt Dickey 25. If you care about Purdue and Colts, give me a follow.
I'm not going to lie. March Madness week, he was actually a pretty good follow.
Yeah.
Y'all be easy. Have a good week. See y'all back next week.
Bye, y'all.